Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Data here with breaking news in the NHL as we are still on Patrick Kane watch. The New York Rangers seem to be freeing up some money as they have traded the former ninth overall pick, Vitaly Kravtsov, to the Vancouver Canucks in exchange for an uninspiring package, William Lockwood, and a 2026 seventh round pick. Now, I don't think that may just be the first 2026 draft pick to be traded in the NHL so far. William Lockwood, not going to lie, not a player that I know. Looking at information on him right now, it is called an instant reaction and analysis for a reason. He was Vancouver's third round pick, 64th overall in the 2016 draft. Since then, he has played 28 NHL games. He is a right winger. He is 24 years of age. He is 5'11". He has one assist through 28 games in the NHL. This year in Abbotsford down in the AHL, he has 12 goals and 18 points through 26 games. So not a nobody. He seems to be pulling his own in the AHL. But I wouldn't say it's the most inspiring return for Vitaly Kravtsov, who was the ninth overall pick in his draft. Kravtsov, a player that has been, I don't know if I want to say highly touted, but he's been a part of a lot of trade talks. The Montreal Canadiens have been very interested in him. Jeff Gorton, who was part of the New York Rangers front office that drafted him. So it is, I don't know. It really just has to be like, okay, let's just make this move. Let's do it. Let's get it out of the way. Yeah, it's going to hurt. Yeah, we're taking less than we could have gotten, let's say, a year ago, but it's going to be part of the Patrick Kane process. Welcome, everybody. Vinny, welcome aboard. The first step in the Patrick Kane deal getting finalized, moving out salary, is what has to happen exactly. Makes sense there from Rocky Mountain Russian. It may seem like a terrible deal, but you got to put it all together in the big scheme of things, right? So we'll break it down in just a moment here. Vitaly Kravtsov moved to the Vancouver Canucks for William Lockwood and a 2026 seventh round pick, almost just dirt, honestly, in terms of a draft pick, right? A seventh 3 drafts from now after this one. So let's pull up the information on Vitaly Kravtsov. What kind of opportunities was he getting, right? He wasn't doing much. I think he had 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points on the season. He was playing, he was playing minutes. He wasn't really getting those 7 minutes a night. He was doing 11, 12 minutes at times. This season was averaging 11.25 per night. The Blue Jackets just beating up on the Oilers right now, by the way. 82 game average in his career, 17 points through 82 games. That would be if you extrapolate those 48 games over an 82 game career. So not necessarily anything to write home about. He was doing more in the KHL, right? He was doing well in the KHL. So in the Canucks, and yes, also Bruins getting Shane Bowers today. A couple moves happening. It's just a cap space move for the Rangers. I thought it was going to be, I'll pull up my prediction here in a moment. I had a prediction of what the trade was going to be. I thought the Canucks would be involved. I think I just tweeted maybe seconds before the trade actually happened. So I can actually say with honesty that I thought the Canucks would be involved for Vitaly Kravtsov, but I thought that would be Kravtsov tossed in as a sweetener for retaining salary. Here, let me pull up what I had as my original prediction on the trade. My original prediction was that the Blackhawks would be getting Leschyshyn, Zach Jones, Ben Harper, first, a second, and a fourth in exchange for Patrick Kane and Sam Lafferty. You may not think that's a huge return, but remember that Patrick Kane and the Rangers do hold all the leverage over the Hawks. The Canucks would take, in exchange for retaining Kane and Lafferty at 50% each, they would get Vitaly Kravtsov and a 2024 fourth. Instead, they've just gotten Kravtsov straight up for Lockwood and a seventh. So it's, the Canucks get Kravtsov. They get another player that maybe needs a change of scenery, a la Anthony Beauvillier, perhaps. The trade officially was Vitaly Kravtsov, for juice here, Vitaly Kravtsov to the Vancouver Canucks in exchange for William Lockwood and a 2026 seventh round pick. That does put us closer on Patrick Kane watch. I thought this would be an idea of a trade. This is my original prediction. Jake Leschyshyn placed on waivers today, so that means that the deal is getting closer and closer to happening. Did I make a mistake here? Sorry, I just realized I in my tweet. It's true, from MTL. I had written Montreal, then I said, you know what? I read something that the Canucks were going to take him. So then I made a mistake here. I'll have to retweet that. My apologies. But yeah, Kravtsov being moved to the Vancouver Canucks, which will be a major domino in the Patrick Kane saga. So breaking down a bit about Kravtsov himself, we'll get to that in a moment. Just seeing initial reactions here on Twitter. 2026 7th. What are you going to do with that, right? William Lockwood, an AHL player. Dave Pagnotta had mentioned that. That's why I said Canucks. They were engaged in talks. It sounds like this may be a separate trade as opposed to Vancouver acting as a third party in a three-way, as in no Kane retention. We'll see. Prospect and pick going back to the Rangers. So now a Patrick Kane deal would probably look a little different, but the Rangers do have more salary freed up. Now with Kane at 75% retained, 50% to the Blackhawks and 50% to another team, I believe the first day that can happen if they don't move Leschyshyn is March 1st. If they do move Leschyshyn if they do move Leschyshyn, I think that's what it was. If he clears waivers, that is. There's a lot going on that I can't call myself an expert in CBA legalities. Raphael, it's better for the Rangers to have a player to play at Kravtsov's place in the AHL in a seventh, because he wanted out of there. That's true, yeah. And Patrick Kane, yes, he has returned home with his family. He's no longer with the Blackhawks. I would say a trade would happen like anytime at or around or slightly before 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Mike, welcome to the stream, buddy. So it's a big piece in the Patrick Kane saga. What did I want to get here? I saw Leschyshyn, it's a hard name to type, March 1st. I saw a stat on that from people who know the CBA much better than I do. Let me just try and pull this up. Yes, from Puckpedia, that's what it was. Yes. Here, let me show you this. From Puckpedia. Puckpedia is saying if the Rangers trade Kravtsov today, which they did, and send Leschyshyn down tomorrow, which they will if he doesn't get claimed off waivers, and with no other roster moves, they would have room for Patrick Kane at 25% starting March 1st. They could do it sooner by sending someone else down or including them in a trade, so maybe like a Ben Harper. So it seems as though they're trying to keep it separate. Leschyshyn goes down today, Kravtsov gets traded today, and they're going to be able to make this trade by March 1st. So that would be if they just want to leave it as it is. So that means maybe Patrick Kane is not moved tomorrow. If they're willing to move another piece to make it happen sooner, then definitely happening within the next 24 hours. So that's where we're at right now. Vitaly Kravtsov, he himself, I think he's a solid enough piece. I think he's a solid enough player when he's at his best. He wasn't in a good spot. He didn't want to be with the Rangers organization. Over in the KHL, he was putting up good numbers. He's a powerful forward, a powerful power forward. Lindgren. So let me see what Dabrowski commented this. Let's pull this up. Thank you for getting those stats, buddy. After trading Kravtsov, the Rangers have $433,000 in projected cap space, which can fit 1.67 annual cap hit today. If Leschyshyn is down tomorrow, Kane can fit at 2.625 on March 1st. Alternatively, could fit Kane sooner by putting Ryan Lindgren on LTIR or another player off the roster. Thank you for that. So there's a few different scenarios, but it seems as though we are just waiting for the formalities to happen. And this was Leschyshyn going on waivers was the first domino. Kravtsov being traded now is the second, and now probably the most major domino to fall. Kane going back home. It's just a matter of time now that Patrick Kane will be going to the New York Rangers. So Vitaly Kravtsov, 9th overall pick back in 2018. Stayed overseas for a little bit, 24 points in 49 games, came to the NHL, 4 points in 20 games, back to the KHL, 13 points in 19 games, plus 10 points in 15 playoff games. This season, 6 points through 28 games. He's playing about 11 and a half minutes of ice time per night. Just things not working out right now. So he's traded to the Vancouver Canucks for William Lockwood and a 7th round pick in 2026. William Lockwood, career AHLer at the moment, 1 assist in 28 NHL games, former 3rd round pick in 2016, 18 points in 26 AHL games so far this season. The Rangers essentially get a body as opposed to having nobody. The draft pick, I don't think that's really anything. They get a body as opposed to having someone who is going to walk. They get to clear up the salary cap space. Yeah, breaking news. Taylor Hall from the Oilers to the Devils. The Oilers, they need help, man. They need help on defense. Getting beat up by the Columbus Blue Jackets. My goodness. All right, so I think that's just about it for this trade. I wish I could add more. I think that's about all we know at the moment for Vitaly Kravtsov and the Rangers and Leschyshyn and Patrick Kane. It's just a matter of waiting right now, unfortunately. It's just going to be that we have to wait to see if he clears. Does anybody claim him? I'm not sure if the Hawks would be able to get more value or less value if they can make the deal happen sooner, right? But Blackhawks fans, this is from Mark Lazarus, who is writes for The Athletic, senior writer. I could show you this actually. Blackhawks fans should be prepared for a not great return here. A really underwhelming return for Patrick Kane. That's what happens when the player has all the leverage. Kane earned that no movement clause, and he appears to be using every last bit of it. So that's why I said I would be surprised if it's anything more than what I predicted, like a Zach Jones type of, like a deal centered around Zach Jones and a couple draft picks, excuse me. I don't see Brennan Othman. I definitely don't see Kako. I definitely don't see Lafreniere. A lot of people thought Lafreniere for Kane would be happening maybe like a month or two ago when Lafreniere was getting healthy scratched. But yeah, that's about it for right now. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Just a quick data cast this afternoon. Breaking news, as always, in the NHL. Always great to get that done quickly. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. Make sure that you're subscribed for the ongoing Patrick Kane saga. Maybe sometime tomorrow, sometime later this week. As long as it's not in the middle of a work day on a like a random 2 p.m. on a Monday, that would be horrible. But as well, trade deadline coverage coming your way on Friday, March the 3rd, live 1 to 4 p.m. here on the channel. Be subscribed for that, as well as everything else that we're doing, franchise mode, career simulations, much more. Take a second to check it out. Thank you for joining me this afternoon, everyone. I hope you're having a lovely day. News coming in the NHL: Shane Bowers to the Bruins for Keith Kincaid. Capo Kakinen claimed off waivers from the Penguins by the Blues. A lot of different things happening, so it's going to be an exciting next 6 days or so. So I hope that you're excited. I hope that you'll be with us for the ride here on the channel. Join the Discord server if you haven't already to be made aware of breaking news as well as it happens and breaking news discussions. Everyone have yourselves a great afternoon, and we will be talking soon.